Hello there and welcome back to another Luminar NEO tutorial. In today's video, we'll be covering everything you need to know about the Studio Light tool. We'll begin by introducing all the available controls in this tool and then demonstrate how to use them to get the most out of it. To start with, the Studio Light tool is designed to replicate lighting effects that are typically achieved through expensive technical equipment in studio. You can use this tool to simulate warm sunlight shining through the window shades, or you can add textures and light patterns to your portraits using an entirely new light source. When it comes to availability, the Studio Light tool is available for Luminar NEO subscribers and the owners of the current Creative Journey Pass. And now it's finally time to look at the tool itself. So we are already in Luminar NEO, catalog module, and we are looking at our sample files. Now if you want to use them, if you want to follow me along, all you need to do is to jump into the description of this video, follow the link there, download the sample files, and import them into the application. To start with, we're gonna select the lady with the dark background, and then we're gonna move the image into Edit module. To do that, you can click on Edit or use E on your keyboard. By the way, if you want to speed up your photo editing workflow in Luminar NEO, make sure you get our updated Luminar NEO shortcut cheat sheet. It's now available in a printable and a mobile version, and you can download it by heading to our website cleverphotographer.com/Luminar gift. But now let's go back to our image. Let's navigate into our main toolbar and then go down into the portrait section. Here on the top, you should see the Studio Light tool. Click on it to open it, and as you can see, it has the standard interface with the adjustments and masking, and then a number of sliders and other controls. When you start to use the Studio Light tool, the first thing you need to do is to go into the amount slider and increase it. By doing that, the application scans the image and create an initial mask where the Studio Light or the light will be applied. You can see on our image that it's already applied, and by increasing the amount, you can increase the amount of this effect, or if you go the other way around, you can make it smaller. So basically, the amount slider controls the entire impact of this tool. It can go really crazy, or it can go very gentle. So that's the amount slider. Let's bring it somewhere around 40 and continue. Now, before we're gonna continue here, let's look at the first three sliders. We have the brightness, smooth, and light contrast. These sliders affect the entire screen. Now, starting from the first slider, and that's the brightness. Here, when we take the slider and bring it down, the entire scene will get darker. And then the other way around, when we bring it up, the whole scene will get brighter. Just like always, we can double click on the slider to reset it, and then we can move to the next slider. This slider is called smooth. By increasing it, you will add roughness into the effect. And by bringing it down, you will add smoothness. So again, to reset it, just double click on it. Finally, for this set of controls, we have the light contrast. And as you guessed it, by increasing it, we are adding a contrast between the light and the rest of the scene. Again, just to reset it, double click on it. So we have the brightness, smooth, and light contrast sliders. After this, let's go back to this section here. So you already know about the amount slider. You can make it really strong or you can bring it down. After that, we have the number of squares here. Now, these squares represent the amount of light sources. So now we have one, and when I hover over the image, you will see where it's positioned. It's this little handle here. When you hover over it, you can move it around and adjust the direction of the light. So there you have it. Let's add one here. To add another light source, we can go back to the tool and click on the little plus sign. By doing that, we will get another dot on our image, And now again, we can drag it around and adjust its position. Now don't forget that when you create a new light source, you still need to go back into the tool and add the amount and make any further adjustments. So let's just bring it down a little bit and let's go back to our selection. So here we can now switch between the different light sources. So let's say we can go back to the first one and bring it down a little. You can also right click on a light source and you can choose between hide and remove. So we can hide this light source or we can remove it altogether. So to add a new light source, you can use the plus sign here and then you can right click and use the hide or remove. Additionally, you can also add the light source directly from the image. And all you need to do is to just click on your image and then position it around. So there are two ways of adding new light sources, one with the plus sign and one with the single click on your mouse. Again, once we put it here, we want to increase the amount and make any further adjustments. So let's go ahead and delete one of the points here. And let's just use one of the lights here and let's continue going through the rest of the controllers. So once we increase the amount a little bit, we can move into the hue and saturation. Now this set of sliders help us to adjust the color of the light source. So first come first, we need to increase the saturation. And once we do that, you can see that the light is changing into the red. After that, to adjust the color, you can use the simple hue slider. So just use it and move it around until you get what you like. So we can get to blue, purple, red again, green, whatever you prefer. But you basically increase the saturation and then use the hue slider. Again, let's reset it. And finally, let's finish this set of controls by looking at the depth slider. What the depth slider does, it basically adjusts the distance of the light from the subject. By default, it's on 0. And to go further away from the subject, you just need to bring the slider down. And to get closer, you just need to bring the slider up. So this is the depth slider. Once you finish discovering all these controls, there is actually another whole set of controls hiding inside of the light customization. To open it and to unhide them, you just need to click on this little switch button, and that will bring two drop-down boxes, another slider, and little chart here. The first thing we're gonna look at is the pattern. Next to it, you will see a gray drop-down box, and when you click on it, there will be option between none, strips, and dots. When you open the light customization, the strips get automatically applied. And when I increase the light contrast, you can see it a little bit better. After that, we have a choice of dots. And additionally, we can bring it back to none and have just the general light. Now let's reset the light contrast and we're gonna move to texture. Again, gray drop-down box, so click on it. And here we have a list of texture presets. When you hover over them, they will change and you can see the preview and then you can choose what you prefer. The names will probably change on the final version, so if you see different names, don't worry about it. However, as you can see, some of the presets are fireworks, glass, mist, rays, smoke, and so on. As an additional option, you will be able to add your own textures. Now to do that, we can click on Add Custom. You can navigate into the sample file folder and there you will find the fire textures. Now they are yours, you can keep them, it's a little gift from us. However, if you're looking for more textures and if you're interested in autumn content, we have a whole Luminar NEO autumn bundle available on our website now. To find out more about it, make sure that you visit our website cleverphotographer.com/Luminar, or you can get this bundle for a special price if you use the link in the description of this video. Now let's select one of the textures here and simply click on Add. Once you do that, the texture is added into your list. It will be in a custom texture section. So here, as you can see, it's selected. And since we have it selected, let's look at the rest of the options here. Now we have the scale. And by playing around with the scale slider, you can adjust the scale of the texture. Now, depending on your texture, you move it around and see what you prefer. After that, additionally, we have this little option here where we can drag this little dot and adjust the position of the texture. So I think that's quite cool. Now, since we have it positioned, let's go back to our adjustments and let's make the picture darker. And after that, we can also move our light source so it looks like the fire is basically coming on the entire face. And once we do that, we can increase the amount a little bit and we can go back into our light customization where we can adjust the scale. So let's say we do something like this and again, position it around. So it really is up to you. You can play around with it. You can almost make it look like there is a fire coming into her face, and you can use the depth if you want to make it a little bit less visible. It really is completely up to you. However, coming back to our light customization, with the texture, you just select one from the list, then you adjust the scale, and then you position it around to make sure that it looks exactly how you want to. So there you have it. This is how all the controls in this tool work. Now, additionally, just like with all the rest of the tools, you have the before and after, and you also have the reset button. On top of it, you can also use masking with this tool. So maybe not so much for this example. However, I'm sure that you will find a way to use it. You can simply click on masking and then use any of the masking tools available. Now let's go back to the adjustments. And before I let you go, I want to show you one more thing. Let's go back to the catalog. Let's select the second image, bring it back into the edit module, and let's go into the studio light and apply it by increasing the amount slider. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show you that the tool works on multiple people. So it's not just the one person. You can apply it to multiple subjects. So for example, in this case here, we can position the light over the sun. And after that, we can increase the saturation and we can make it yellow. We can make it much stronger. We can make it much more yellow or orange following the light of the sun. We can add a little bit of contrast, maybe not so much, maybe a little bit less, maybe somewhere around here. And maybe make the scene a little bit brighter and create something like this. Now, of course, that you would take as much time as you need to adjust this edit. However, I just wanted to show you that the studio light works on more than one subject and it can be really used a very creative way. And there you have it. If you want a copy of our popular Luminar NEO shortcut cheat sheet, there is nothing easier than heading to our website cleverphotographer.com/LuminarGift. While you're there, you can also check out one of our popular Luminar NEO products, or you can stay here and watch more videos about Luminar NEO. For today, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please make sure that you like, comment, and share on this video. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so we can keep creating content like this. For today, thank you very much for watching. My name was Jakub, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.